How's it going, everybody? I'm Nate Winicki, and this is On the Water with Newport. Today we're at San Diego Bay, where we're going to be going for spotted bay bass, halibut, all sorts of different things, trying out some new products here. Can't wait to get started. Let's get it. We made it onto the flats here. We're in like 9.5, 10 feet of water. And especially when starting out in new zones like this, I like to have some sort of search bait just to cover a lot of water, move through, and hopefully get a couple of reaction bites just so I know that there's some fish in the area. So a crank is a great way to do this. Underspins, even like something like a Alabama rig, something that you have confidence in, that you know will get a bite when there's just a few fish in the area. There he is. There he is. Woo! Beautiful spotted bay bass. Sweet. So, one of the staples of San Diego Bay is the spotted bay bass. This particular fishery is loaded with these little guys. They don't get that big, but what they lack in size, they certainly make up for in aggression. One of my favorite fish to catch. They pull super hard. You fish them on light line, just kind of working through the grass, going through patches. This is a great area to do this at because we're in patchy eelgrass. So the fish have plenty of structure to hide in, but at the same time, it's scattered enough for you to fish through that without catching all that grass on your hook. So we're getting into a good little bite here. Birds diving all around. Let's keep going. This is fun. I've been throwing the crank, I've been throwing the underspin and different things around. Now that we've kind of been established on a little spot, I'm going to slow it down and I'm going to fish something a little bit more methodical. So the Ned rig is an excellent example of something like that. This is a Z-Man Ned rig, something looking like a shrimp. Every fish, no matter where you are in the world, eats some sort of crustacean or shrimp. So whether you're fresh or saltwater, having a Ned rig on is turning into an excellent way to catch fish, no matter what you're fishing for. The other thing that I'm using, at least to just slow down, cover water, but also really methodically kind of break down an area, is going to be an underspin. This is a Kitech Easy Shiner 4-inch with a little Owner flashy swimmer. Because we're fishing a little bit deeper water, I throw on a little bullet weight on top of there, a little 3/16 bullet weight. Helps me sink that bait down. It's on the meat. That's it, dude. You find these things, they school up. I mean, gosh, you can get one after another, boom. I used to just cast and wind, cast and wind, cast and wind, and you get into this monotonous pattern where you're just doing the same thing over again. But I like to try to, especially fishing a bait like this, which is supposed to mimic a little bait fish, whether that be a shad, a sardine, an anchovy, a herring, anything. You want to try to make it look lifelike. So I give it pauses. Oh, like that. I tap it, you know, I try to just give it some life. I speed up, I slow down, I do slow a little bit. You know, you want to just vary your retrieve. It not only keeps it interesting for you, but it's going to result in a couple more bites when it gets a little bit slower like it just has. So let's give it a couple more, and then I think it might be time to maybe move spots. Oh. Just like that, see, bumping bottom, changing retrieve rates, pausing sometimes, gets you a bite when it slows. This is my first bite in like 10 casts, but that's it, right? You work through the area, you change, you adapt. Something to keep in mind about bay fishing, especially in environments like this, is that you're fishing in a very dynamic environment. The current, the tide, the wind, the temperature of the water, the depth, everything makes a difference as to where the fish are going to be, and you may have to bounce around in different depths and different water temps to try to figure out where the fish are really located. Back there in the back, we were looking at water in like that 71, 72 degree range. Up here, it's like 68, 69. Even though that's like three degrees of difference, it makes a big difference with the fishing. So we're gonna comb down these little bit deeper channels here. I'm using a different rig. Over in the eelgrass, I was combing bottom, but now I really want to stick to the bottom structure and just go right along with my boat. So I'm using a drop shot. I've got a little Flash Tricks minnow up there. It's an excellent presentation. So let's see if we can make something happen. Oh, yes. Best one of the day for me so far, for sure. Woo! Thank you, bud. Awesome. Look at that. Beautiful spotted bay bass. So we just did a little bit of a move from our last spot. I got a little bit slower, and the thing about bay fishing in the summertime is that water temperature probably plays the biggest role on the fish than anything else. It's gonna vary drastically as you move back into the bay, and the fish, when you get towards the back, when it gets 73, 74, 75 degrees even, it's gonna be too warm for those spotties or halibuts to really live in. So you have to move up, and you have to really look at your graph, not only for the bottom, but also for the temperature. The temperature at this time of the year is gonna be paramount to you catching fish. So you wanna be looking for that mid-range, the 68 to 72 degree water. And I'm sure once you start moving in those zones, you're gonna get more bites. So let's keep going. We're getting a little bit of a better bite going. Underspins, all the way. One of my favorite things to use. Awesome. The other thing about the electric motor is that being so quiet, I can adjust and go on and off much, much easier, or I'd be more willing to, right? So, especially now that the wind and the current is pushing me in a certain direction, I may get off of my spot really quickly, like I am right now. So what I can do is just really quickly reset, just bump out, and then continue fishing without really skipping a beat. But it's got some power to it. I mean, we were kicking along at 6 and 7 miles an hour in the wind and the current. So, it's a powerful trolling motor if you only use it for that. But in terms of an all-around unit, it's an excellent for a small boat like this. Overall, an excellent day trying out the new Newport NT300. For what this boat is and what this motor was designed to do, it worked phenomenal. We probably did 6 or 7 miles on the bay today. Average speed when I cranked it at full was about 6.5, maybe 7 miles an hour at full. So yeah, overall the NT300, it did great. It worked both as an outboard and a trolling motor, which I think is an advantage over your typical gas-powered outboard. I could use the same motor and it could keep me in position when the wind and the current picked up. So overall, for a little unit, for a small, 12, 14 foot boat, it was fantastic. It scooted me along, kept me in position. Overall, excellent day on the water. Can't complain, the weather was phenomenal. We caught some awesome fish. Thank you so much, Eric Risen, for guiding us around. And yeah, thanks guys for tuning in.